Leverage. Leverage means something that makes change a must and not a should. Now, leverage is different for every person. Some people, you could threaten their life, and that's not leverage, because they'd rather die than submit to someone else's will. But we all have something that'll push us over the edge. Please write this down. Change is never a matter of ability. Change is never a matter of ability. Everybody has the ability to change. It's always a matter of motivation or drive. Change is never a matter of ability. We all can change. It's all a matter of motivation or drive, motive. In order to create change, you have to change someone's neuroassociations. Those are big words. Neuro just means your nervous system. So in order to change your behavior, you have to change what you link pain and pleasure to in your nervous system. The fastest way to create a lasting change is change what you associate pain and pleasure to in your nervous system. So you can condition that. That's called neuroassociative conditioning. Big words. It just means conditioning what you link pain and pleasure to in your nervous system. That'll change your body. If you link pain to something, enough pain, it takes no willpower. You're going to avoid it. And if you link enough pleasure to something, you're going to be pulled towards it regardless of what you should or shouldn't do. We develop beliefs. Like if you had a great relationship and it was very passionate, and it was the greatest experience of your life, and then boom, one day it ends. The pain of an ending is so severe. Your brain wants to figure out what caused it so I never have to go through that pain again. And so your brain might go, oh, relationships. This is because I was in a relationship. And then you link pain to relationship, and then you avoid relationship. And yet if you avoid relationship long enough, you're gonna hunger for it. So then you're gonna be in pain because you don't have one. So sometimes we make up false beliefs to protect ourselves, or we might make up a different belief, but whatever the belief is, it's what's keeping you from making progress. Your brain has two targets. One it's always trying to hit, it's called towards values. Towards values are the emotional states you want to experience more of. So you're always trying to move towards them. So it's a target you're trying to hit, all right? And there are all kinds of different towards values. Some of those emotions you value more. You'd work harder to move towards them than others. There's moving towards values. Those are the emotions you want more of. And then there's a second list, a second target, and that's called away from values. And away from values are the emotional states you want to avoid at all cost because it's too darn painful. Whether you feel rejected or not, some people, it doesn't matter what you do, they're not rejected. Other people, if you don't smile when you walk by, they feel rejected. The beliefs are where we're gonna work now. So let's say we've got a target, that determines your direction. And if you keep moving that direction, your destiny or destination. But in order to hit that target, the arrow that's gonna go there and say we hit it or not is driven by your beliefs. So your beliefs control everything in your life. Your values are critical, they determine your direction. And if they're in conflict, you have challenges. Now, a global belief is a belief that you have that affects your whole life. Like if you have a belief about women, that's gonna affect all your relationships with women, or a belief about men, or a belief about life. In fact, why don't you jot these three phrases down? These are typical global belief phrases. Life is, I am, people are. The beliefs you have about life, the beliefs you have about yourself, they control your life. If you believe you're a procrastinator, why would you believe that? Well, you set a big goal, you got excited, you started to go for it, and then it looked like you could get rejected or it might fail, and you pulled back and you didn't follow through. You procrastinated because you're afraid of failing. And then you get yourself revved up again, you're gonna go for it, and the last minute, you're just afraid of failure or rejection, so you pull back again. Well, if you do this enough, eventually you get tired of being disappointed. So you develop a belief, I'm a procrastinator. Once you believe it, that means you feel absolutely certain that's who you are. You can remember all the times you've done it, and that's how you're gonna be, as long as you keep that belief. So your beliefs about life, but the most profound ones are the beliefs you have about yourself. So I'm a winner, I'm a loser, I'm a person who always finds the way, I'm a person who always disappoints. See, If you look at somebody like Lance Armstrong, he became controversial because of his use of drugs, which most of these bikers did at the time, unfortunately. But Lance was diagnosed with cancer in his lungs, in his brain, and in his testicles. That's pretty crazy when you ride a bike for a living. And they told him he's gonna die. But Lance had this belief, I am a winner. I always find the way to victory. And he believed that with his soul. And so guess what? He beat all the odds and beat cancer. And built the Live Strong brand to help other people do the same. That same belief guided him to say, I'm gonna win in my sport no matter what, including using enhancement drugs, unfortunately. But the belief is what got him through the cancer. So our beliefs control everything about ourselves, about other people, and then your belief about men, your belief about women, your belief about Christians or Jews or Muslims or French people or German people or English people or Americans or Russians or anything. When you have a global belief, it affects your whole life. What shapes your relationship with another person is not the other person. It's your beliefs about that other person. That's the most powerful thing of all. So global beliefs are about people or about yourself or about life, and they affect everything. If we change just one global belief, imagine dropping a stone in the pond. It hits the water, but then there's this processional effect over the whole pond, isn't there? We change just one of those global beliefs, it'll affect your whole life. The second kind of belief is called a rule. Rules are languaged as if-then. Rules, you might have a rule that says, if I make more money than my parents, they'll be humiliated. It isn't necessarily true, but if it's in your unconscious, you'll start to do well and then you'll sabotage. If you have a rule that says, if I really make a lot of money, people will hate me or they'll attack me, then you're gonna have that experience in your body. Whether it's true or not doesn't even matter, you'll make it true. You will find whatever you're looking for, even if it's not there. Whatever you believe, you will find support for it, or you'll find people that'll support you. So you've got to develop new beliefs that free you. Every day of your life, you're being tested. Every day of your life, you're gonna know whether you won or lost, not by the score on the board. Sometimes the other team will get lucky. Sometimes you'll get a bad call and the other team will win. But also, the real test of you is not the score. It's did you give every ounce of yourself on the field of battle, in our case, the field of love, the field of your relationships, the field of your business. Did you give every ounce of yourself while you're out there? Because if you did, you won. And if you didn't, even if you have more points, you didn't win because you didn't grow yourself. You didn't maximize your potential. The essence of what's gonna make your life magnificent, my friends, is your standards from this day forward. You wouldn't be here unless you had better standards than most people. But we all have areas, right? We have areas maybe doing great in your business, but not so great with your body since COVID. Or your body's doing good, but you're not doing great in your relationship. Or your relationship's good, but maybe not your kids. We all have an area we can improve. Raise your standard of what is gonna be a must for you, not just a should. And so remember, life is not the sport. We can all be outstanding, but we have to make a bigger demand on ourselves. It's like self-esteem. People think they have high self-esteem because people told you were great. People can tell you great all your life and you cannot believe them and feel not great or not beautiful or not strong. People can tell you you're a piece of crap your whole life and you can still say, screw you, I'm gonna show you who I am. We are not controlled by what other people say or think. We are controlled. Our own inner pride comes from pushing ourselves to do things that are incredibly difficult. When you do something that's incredibly difficult and you push through, you develop that inner self-esteem, that inner pride that isn't ego-based. It's based on the truth that you've pushed yourself to grow.